Yes, guys. So today I have a very special little multi-tool here to show you guys. This is called the Leatherman Wingman. And I know that this is not new or anything like that, but I just want to run through this little multi-tool and explain maybe why you would rather buy this guy than something like the Wave or the Charge or even the Sidekick. So this is not my personal wingman. It's a friend of mine's wingman. But we're just going to run it through and I'll just talk about some of the aspects that I really enjoy with regards to this knife. So first up, we have a pocket clip, which is not something we really see on a lot of Leatherman knives. You used to see it a lot. This is a very special little Leatherman side clip. And this guy actually is it came out before the pattern. You can see the patent pending. Before, Leatherman had the patent for these multi-tools. So that's just awesome. I love that. It also has a pocket clip, very functional, very good. So yeah, the Wingman also has a pocket clip, but that's not something you see on most Leatherman. We have a T10 here, and once again the workshop sharpener just coming in like a boss. Guys, I just need to show you this quickly before we carry on. So I just finished. I didn't do the whole thing on the sharpener, but I did use the honing rod. Of this sharpener to actually finish sharpening this massive Bowie for a customer. And this thing is paper slicing sharp. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, because I didn't sharpen it to be paper cutting sharp, but it just ended up sort of being. It's not perfect in that regard, but it's freaking sharp for such a large knife. You don't want your knife really to be paper cutting sharp, and it's not quite there, but it's sharp. It's very sharp, and this guy helped me do it, so don't underestimate this thing. But yeah, it has T10 pivot screws, so you can use your little workshop sharpener to adjust your multi-tool if needed. I've already adjusted these pivots to the optimal. Then we have a blade that has a very nice lockup here, so sort of like a liner lock style. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The blade, one thing I need to tell you guys about this, so I also sharpened this guy, so it should be fairly sharp. Yeah, so the blade on this guy is, I have an issue with this, okay? Same as with like the CRKT Pazoda. When you have such a small blade, give me an entire blade. Don't give me serrations and a little blade, because I don't know what to do with that little part of serrations there. I can't really saw anything, it's not actually enough it will take me hours. I would rather cut it with the blade then or something. It's going to take me about the same time. So it just irritates me slightly when they put serrations on such a small little blade. I would rather say, okay, add a saw or add a, just make the saw then or make it a blade, make a choice. But I do understand that some people would prefer it that way. I don't. Okay, then we also have a very nice little scissor here. Now, the interesting thing about the scissor is you do need to lock it up to put it under spring tension. So there we go. Now it's under some spring tension and it's functional. That's pretty cool. Very nice, good quality little scissors there. Awesome. Okay, so once again, sort of a liner lockup. I'm guessing this is more of a frame lock because it's as part of the frame, so it's frame lock, Okay, and then we have the pliers. Enjoyable. I feel that they are slim enough to fit most purposes. It's not so thin that they will break easily, but yeah, also some reinforcement here towards the tip of the pliers with this 2-angled grind. And yes, guys, if you had like engineering, graphic and design in school or woodwork or whatever, then you would know that shapes does affect strength in structures. So this triangular shape will strengthen that tip quite a bit. So that's awesome. It is under spring tension, and that's quite nice when you're working one-handed, I must say. Then you can just easily release whatever, that's cool. That is not something you see in the ancient old Leatherman. This is not under spring tension. So yeah, you kind of have to manipulate it by hand. But yeah, that's just a nice add-on. Now we get to the real fun stuff. So let's just open it up here, which is something that's very cool is I bite my nails, so I have short nails, okay? So I can't access those little clippies there that you need to access to take out your tool. So they actually insert a little hole at the bottom, so you can push the tool through and then you can grab those little clippies from there. So here we have a little cutter, so perfect for opening some packages, because sometimes your blade is too large. you can't really, you know, you might fear that you will harm whatever is inside. So this is pretty nifty. I like that. Then we have a flathead and a very coarse little file there. Sorry, this is not clean, but a very coarse little file there. And also it is a ruler. I don't know how much that is worth, but I'm guessing you can probably, you know, maybe if you need to measure a hole quickly for a screw or something like that, or you need to measure the screw or something, then you have that option there. So it might not be that functional, but it's there. And I'm guessing that you would probably use that quite a lot, because on this guy, I use this ruler a lot, okay? And I feel that this is a fantastic design. They added the ruler at the back of the tool, on the spine or on the handles, you know. And that's so good. And I've used this a ton of times, because there's so many times that you actually need a ruler. And I don't really understand why they wouldn't add it just on the handles again of the Wingman, and also on the wave. I think maybe it is on the wave's handles, not sure. But yeah, just something that's pretty cool that I enjoy. Then we have a opener, bottle opener, and also just a little scraper cutter there. So that's functional. And I'm thinking we have this sort of a switch, and I'm thinking this could be a wire cutter, or that is what I would use it for, at least, because it seems very functional in that regard. So that's pretty cool, guys. That's pretty cool. You have a sort of a 3-in-1 you have a multi-tool within a multi-tool. Okay, then we have, and this is interesting. Now, this is not something you see every day. Yeah, I'll start with that. So we have a Phillips head here, as you guys can see there. Now, interesting about this guy, it is quite large on two of the edges, okay? But then in the middle, it's slim. So you actually have a very functional little Phillips head here that will be able to cover quite a variety of different screw types and sizes. So because it's so small on two of the edges, it actually gives you the ability to get in on smaller screws, but then also, you know, to lock up just on larger screws. So that's fantastic. And it also just helps to sort of create a smaller design with regards to the handle, because now it does fit in here very nicely. But that's interesting. Yeah, I feel that you sort of have to use it to really understand that. I don't know what this is for, this little eye here, but maybe that's sort of to pry out something. Not quite sure. But yeah, then we also have that pry bar on that side. So that's about it for the Leatherman Wingman. Now, why would you want this above something like the side clip? Well, the side kick. So the side kick has a saw instead of the scissors, but most of us don't use a saw in our everyday life. And this is supposed to be your Wingman for life. This is supposed to be your everyday carry, your EDC multi-tool. That is what this was made to do. I mean, you have other tools in your toolbox that will operate a lot better than your Leatherman would in different areas, okay? But to have something that's such great quality with you every day for basically any situation, that's fantastic. Now, I don't know about you, and it will differ from person to person, and that is why there are different Leathermans out there. But I would use a scissor a lot more on my daily basis than I would a saw, for instance. So having a scissor is quite handy. And if I really, really need a saw, I know it's not that practical, but I do have some serrations here, so I can make it work, even though it will take a long time and it will be a massive effort. I can make it work, okay? And you do have a blade there, but I feel that most people anyway carry like a primary knife. So yeah, so I don't really know how many people actually use the blade on their Leatherman, but there are people that only carry a Leatherman, and I get that, because this guy isn't the lightest thing to carry around. It is, let's see how much this weighs. 195 grams, so 95 grams. So not the lightest thing in the world. If you're looking at the large pocket knife, for instance, you're looking at 108 grams. So you are coming in at almost 90 grams more with regards to your Leatherman. But yeah, you have some extra tools, which is very nice. But yeah, something that, you know, you're not going to carry this around if you aren't sure you're going to be using it, you know. So yeah, but I like that, you know. So I feel that this is great for just the everyday guy, you know, no saw in there, maybe some scissors. We use scissors more on a daily basis than we use saws, or at least most of us. And very functional pliers, very awesome. A multi-tool within this Phillips head creates a a fantastic experience with regards to unscrewing things and screwing things and stuff like that. So yeah, I also have obviously some side cutters here to actually cut some wire or whatever, and that's great, guys. I really like it. I love this thing. It's awesome. Okay, guys, so next time we will discuss the ancient Leatherman side clip, and we will talk just about, you know, what I love about it and why it is outdated, but also in many ways how it sort of still gives a fantastic user experience and is timeless to some extent. So yeah, we'll see when we get to that. Okay, guys, have a knife day, and remember, no knife, no life.